107.5 The Diamond, your home for hip-hop and R&B.
107.5 The Diamond, your home for hip-hop and R&B in the Wyoming Valley. This is DJ AR. I got a special guest in the building, my brother Sellz. How you doing?
I'm good, my boy. How you?
I'm chilling, man. Another day.
Another day, another dollar.
So, you're originally from Chambersburg.
Yes, sir.
You've been in Wilkes-Barre for a hot minute now.
Hot minute.
And, you know, one thing, you got it tatted on you, is NCG.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does NCG mean? Let the people know.
NCG, that stands for, like, New Class Genius. So it's a group, my first group that I came up with, me and my friends made. We were young, probably, like, 13, 14. We were real young. And we used to always go to the football games. I used to always freestyle and, like, rap battle against people in, like, school and stuff like that. And then my boy Swag, shout out my boy Swaggy.
Swag.
He started coming around a little bit more, and then he started writing raps. And we like, yo, you're nice, you know what I mean? And then his older brother was already doing it way before we were. So then we all just kind of got together, put our brains together. Mainly me and Swag, we created NCG because his brother had his own thing, you know what I mean? So we wanted to have our own thing because we did a little bit of a different style of music. And I think like our styles complemented each other real good early on. So we used to like sit on like the freaking bench where we lived outside, because everywhere we'd go, like we'd go to his brother's house, my mom's house, his mom's house, they'd be like bitching at us because we fucking playing beats till 3 a.m. trying to write raps and shit. So we would sit outside and be out there all night, just writing shit, walking the studios miles away. Then met my boy Koo, and then he immediately supported, was down with everything that we were down with. He was 10 toes in. So you know what I mean? That's when we became NCG for real.
Nah, first off, shout out Koo.
Shout out my boy Koo. Go
Shout
get
out
H&B's. He just dropped a book.
Nah, for sure. And I was up at Middleman when I was talking about like the origins and everything. I brought up how I remembered you and Oxy. Shout out Matt Oxy. Guys used to be battling on the concourse.
Yeah.
That was some crazy times. Like even back Eagle Ridge, rap battles were everywhere.
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 It was like how kids used to go play basketball. We would go rap. That's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And off of that, you know, you started releasing your own music.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly, this was 2016. There was a song called Decoy that was around.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
You couldn't even go nowhere without hearing it.
That's
it
a
was,
fact.
It was everywhere, and I just remember hearing the name, and I'm like, Sellz. I'm like, is
That's
that
how
my
everybody
boy?
felt.
I'm like, damn, he's doing his thing. So like, what was like that time? Because that was before we started. That was like right before we started like linking up and working.
Yeah,
again.
started working. Yeah. Shoot, it was really like, it was. I ain't gonna make it sound like it was like super crazy, like I couldn't go anywhere or nothing like that. But it was the first time that I would like go places and get recognized by like strangers. They'd be like, "Yo, you the dude that made that song? Like that shit hot. I like that song. And then that's the first song I ever had get any type of like radio airtime. My first time like hitting a milestone in streams and stuff and I was only on SoundCloud. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't officially release that song until like maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. But yeah, and I was just like, not gonna lie, I was just in my bag. I was going through it. I was in my bag, and I was just like, basically wrote the song, talking about a girl, was going off, and then people liked it.
Yeah, that joint's a bop. I mean, I was just in Scranton last night at Atmosphere Lounge. I spun it. I'm spinning it to this day. So
people still play that song to this day.
Yeah, you got a lot of joints like that. So we're gonna get back to the music real quick. 107.5 The Diamond. All right, we back. 107.5 The Diamond. We still here with Sellz.
Yes, sir.
So we went from NCG, and now what's up with Shareholders?
So NCG's still a thing. You know, that's never gonna go anywhere. That's like my personal. That's like my baby. You know what I mean? That's never gonna go anywhere. But Shareholders is something that it's way bigger than NCG. I'll say that. Like as far as like member wise, we have such a strong core, and everybody's like trying to move like as a unit. You know what I mean? Opposed to NCG, that was just kind of like me and my friends like getting together and like, you know what I mean? You know, when you're young, you want to create a little title and all that stuff. And it just kind of stuck with us. But Shareholders is more of like a lifestyle brand. So we want to do everything from music to clothes, to have beat makers, songwriters, engineers, models, all of that. It just wanted to be like a whole lifestyle brand for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I like the logo. I seen you wearing the bomber jacket the one day. That joint's fire. So
Yeah,
I got to get me some Shareholders merch for
Definitely
sure.
go get you some merch.
Shout out Rummy. Shout out the
Shout
gang that I
out
met.
Rum, Chulo,
Chulo, yup.
my boy Day. Shout out everybody, man.
Yeah, so, and I got to meet them all when we was in Chambersburg, actually, at Connected Sound.
Yes, sir. Shout out Connected.
You know, working on your new project, Still Sad, coming out.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into Still Sad, that's the, you know, part 2 to Sad.
Yeah.
How did that album come about?
Sad?
Yeah.
The same way Decoy came about, I was in my bag. Nah, but for real, I was just at that point, I did the whole album at SGS Studios when it was open.
Okay, shout out SGS.
And Earl really gave me free reign to like really lock in the studio and like lock myself in there and really get into like a good creative space. And you know what I mean? He taught me how to like use the programs and all of that. So a majority of that album I recorded by myself. And I like did like a rough mix, and then Earl went in and touched it. I'm pretty sure you sent you a couple tracks to mess with, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like 2020. It was 5 years ago. Damn.
Yeah, it's times flies.
Yep. But yeah, that album, me personally, that's my favorite project that I've ever put out.
Okay.
Honestly, I think I have a lot of songs on there that like meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? Like it was like real raw emotion in a lot of those songs. So definitely one of my favorite projects that I've done. If I could have did anything differently with it, though, I probably would have shortened it.
Okay.
There were so many songs on there.
There was a lot, yeah.
I think it was like 21 or 22 songs,
Yeah.
which is normal if you're Chris Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For my first real project, dropped 20 songs on it. I think I could have like arranged it a little bit better. I could have got more out of the music that I made instead of just pushing it all out at one time, kind of without a plan, honestly. Just kind of winged it all.
Yeah, we just had Twin up here, and, you know, he brought up SGS, and shout out Earl, shout out SGS, Big Bro, everybody over there, Core, Mike, because that situation specifically, it gave such a space to just create at all times of the day,
Yep.
any day of the week, and so much work and progress, I guess, in our careers got, you know, developed at SGS Studios.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that
For a lot of us.
a lot of us, yeah. It
A
was,
lot of people got some of their best work out of that studio. That's a fact.
Yeah. So they definitely helped shape a lot of the sound and everything. And I do remember working on S.A.D. I produced 3 joints on that album.
Word. I thought so.
And that was, you know, a very pivotal time, not only, you know, for all of music I was doing, but at that time with creating the sound that we had and going forward, because, you know, after that we did, what was it, Focus, and then
And
Moments, which leads up to Still Sad. And so what's the thought process going into this album?
So Still Sad is kind of like, so first of all, SAD's an acronym. It means sorry about depression.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's where I got it from. Really, it's like living in PA, seasonal depression is real for the people, for sure.
No, that's
I know I ain't the only one. When it get cold out, you just be like, damn,
Yeah,
like,
it's-
what's really going on?
It'd be,
You know what I
it'd be
mean?
clipped.
It's a real thing. So that's kind of where the whole SAD thing came about. And that was a COVID year whenever I recorded the first SAD. That was a COVID year. So it was a wild time in the world. But Still Sad is kind of like a continuation of SAD, but with like a different point of view on the emotions that I was trying to get across. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm still sorry about going through depression and things like that, but in a different way. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you learn to accept it and you learn to overcome it. So it's like, I'm still sad, but I'm still that nigga too. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what it's about. When people hear it, there's such a mixed variety of different types of music, opposed to SAD that was very like weepy and like sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This one, it's not all like that type of music. There's upbeat songs, got a couple rap joints on there. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for the people to hear it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to hear this album. And so, who could we expect? Any features on there? Different producers, anything of that nature we can expect?
I don't have any features. It's just me on every song.
Okay.
Do I have any features? No, I don't think so. No. It's all just me, yeah. And then I think I got 2 beats from someone else. You did the rest of them. Well, some things don't change.
I guess they don't, yeah. Well, we're going to get back into the music. We'll be right back. 107.5 Diamond. All right, we back. Sellz still in the building.
Still here.
So, who's some of the artists and albums you're listening to right now?
Yo, I mean, obviously, you know I love Driz. The people already know this.
BBL Drizzy?
Oh my God, here he goes. That new Drake album I listen to a lot. I like the song Die Trying on the album though.
Okay.
I like weird songs like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like different than what people would expect.
Yeah.
Cause I be trying to do stuff like that. They'd be like, "Oh, I did not think he would make a song like that." I listen to stuff all over the board. Like the other night I was out, I took control of the jukebox and I was playing Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan. Everybody was looking around like, who played this?
Okay.
I'm in the cut singing my little heart. Really, like I'm all over the board, man. I listen to everything. It's day by day with me. You know what I mean? Whatever I wake up and whatever I'm feeling, like sometimes I wake up and I'll just have a song in my head all day for no reason. And that's what I want to hear. You know what I mean? It could be anything.
I could definitely hear the Drake influence, you know, because the one thing I will give him credit for sure is that he's very versatile and he's able to, you know, change his sounds. That's something you're very good at as well. Probably
try to be.
Probably better than him, but
shit. We'll take it.
So, you know, is there anybody you want to shout out or anything before we wrap this up?
Yeah, you know, shout out my team, shout out Shareholders, shout out NCG, shout out my boy AR for having me. You know what I mean? We came a long way.
For sure.
We still going, though. It's just getting started. And everybody, August 2nd, everybody pop out Atmosphere.
Yep.
I'll be there live performing. I'm going to perform some new bangers, all still sad. Nobody's really heard them yet, so I'm excited to do those. And as far as that, man, just be on the lookout. NCG Sellz on the gram. Get at me.
Yeah. Like he said, August 2nd, Atmosphere is having their 2025 music festival in downtown Scranton at the Ritz Theater. Sellz will be there.
Yes, sir.
I'll be there. The station will be there. You don't want to miss that.
Gonna be a movie for sure.
Sellz, I appreciate you coming up to the station.
You already know, my boy.
You're welcome anytime to come back up. But we got
Don't say that. I'll be here tomorrow.
We got one more thing for you to do before you go.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I got a good guess.
Can you rap?
I can rap.
All right, well, we're going to find out.